Why, hello and welcome. And with Windows 11 approaching, some of you may be finding out that your computer won't update to Windows 11 for various reasons. So I'm just going to quickly cover my very fast shopping guide here. The quickest is basically, as a sales associate for an i5 or Intel Core 5 or an AMD R5 CPU computer, you're good. Laptop, desktop. So I'm going to go to on their website so you can see what I'm looking at. Desktops and all-in-ones. We want to go to towers. Now there's going to be a bunch of mini PCs in here for some reason. And then I'm going to come down here. I'm not going to worry about RAM. But what I am going to do is come down here to the Intel selection and make sure we're at least on 14th gen. That is the last one they came out with. Which is the same as 13. AMD R5s. We're going to skip this. We're going to go with the 7 or the 8. These are your budget, and I'm going to go to price low to high. And let's see. I wouldn't go with refurbished, but you can if you want. Where is... Oh, there it is. New. I don't want any refurbished. I want news. There. There you go. I mean, this isn't the greatest, but if you're just in a hurry, this Omni desktop will definitely work fine. I wish Intel was in this range. This can't game, but it needs more RAM, but hey, that's later. If you're just looking for your boring Office PC, you check some emails, very boring light Photoshop, that'll cover it. This is, here, I'll just show you my search parameters. Unfortunately, I don't see any of Intel's newer CPUs listed, unless they relabeled them. Yeah, unfortunately, Best Buy website doesn't have it, and I don't even touch Celeron. That can barely that doesn't really work. 6,000 and 5,000 RMB's last one. There's a Dell Core 5. I don't know why it's still labeled an i5, but it's still an i5. Dells can be a little programmatic. I've heard good things about Livono. Hewlett-Packard's kind of bloated, but I've seen them last forever. I mean, they're a little weird, but hey, if you're just going to the store, ask for that. This is just their online. It may be different in your store. It may be a sale. You may want something fancier. And laptops, desktops. This is just office stuff. This is just boring office video, not pro gamer. This is just boring office. So we go to computers and tablets. We go to laptops and desktops. We go to laptops. Now, if you're going to get RAM for your laptop later, well, this is where we're just going to go to Windows laptops. And to me, there is a certain limit where they get so budget, they're not worth touching. Okay, we're going to come over here, like last time. I'm going to ignore all the brands. I'm going to come down here to i5. Definitely 13th gen is good. 12th gen's fine. 14th, oh, that's 9th. I don't want 9th. I wish they were listing new ones, but basically, you don't want old gens. And we're going to come down here to AMD. 7,000. I'm going to skip well, I'll put in the pros anyway. You can just see I'm skipping these older ones. Okay, so we skipped all the old models. Well, almost. Okay, so we won't want to go to best selling. We go to price low to high. And I'm going to, if you want to buy refurbished, go ahead. I'm going to click new because these come with, okay, this isn't too bad. That's a nice portable laptop. I mean, none of these have the world's greatest amount of storage, but question, can you upgrade the specifications? How much RAM does this thing have? Oh, way too low. This will require a RAM upgrade, which is fine. It's on sale. Pretty decent laptop, actually. Let's see what the stickers say. Blah, 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 blah. SD card reader, which means if you wanted to just use the SD card reader as a game drive you were gaming, that would actually work. Don't worry about AI tools. There's someone's customer reserve for you that isn't my picture. And 1080p still fine. Model number. This is actually what it would have been. Actually, the fast way to do it is just look it up. Let's see. The correct things showing up there. No, it's not. Well, anyway, you can kind of say, like, there's a sale right now. Great time to jump on a laptop. They're still in the continuing back to school sale. I think these are all basically the same laptop. There's a VivoBook. You do want one with a proper SSD. I'm not really digging into these well enough. But you do want one with a proper SSD, and yeah, there's 12 gigs of RAM. Yeah, that'd be a pretty decent laptop. Usually, historically, when I have looked at Intel laptop CPUs, the graphics chip starts to really peak at about the i5 range, which to me is, you can't upgrade the graphics chip in a laptop. The integrated might be as well decent, because it tends to be the one part that doesn't age well, or the CPU. CPUs don't always. But you can see this is very reasonable down here. I mean, some of these are older, but this is just the drop by the store. I mean, I'd gladly use any of these. That's what I can say. If you need bigger print, it is okay to blow things up with the Control++ or Control-, make it easier to see. Most of you are too close to your screens anyway. I mean, you can look up. This is just Best Buy's website, but I just know it well. If you're going to be gaming, you can start looking up. It turns out the 5060 series graphics card in the new ones apparently is just a 4060 Ti. It's the same die, which is just weird. So Intel, but like, you can worry about your screens if you really want a crisper picture. There's still, okay, who has the mechanical hard drive? That one, just go reset the disk cache on it. Kind of surprised that thing is so expensive, but yeah, just change the disk cache if that's your boot drive, and it'll work a lot better. It won't really give you that's with one way of giving yourself more RAM is just to change the default disk cache size. So the default cache file is actually bigger, but anyway, just a quick, I just go in with Windows. Unless you want to go with Macs, then fine. I went with new because then you come with, your nice shiny new warranty. If one of these little things will work for you, fine, that's great. A lot of you, actually, this would be more than enough if you're just mini forms. They make good ones from what I've heard. I know those are more work chains, but hey, if you don't have a lot of space, those are definitely plenty if you're just emailing, photos, taxes, stuff like that. These are more than enough. Partially why I'm like, but there's older CPUs and used. It's like, you don't know who used it before you don't know why it was returned. Is the warranty still good? Because you'd have to buy a second warranty if these are used. And to me, it usually makes sense to buy the latest, cheapest CPU, because Intel and AMD have been dealing a lot with security vulnerabilities in CPUs, and those are the nasty bugs that are really hard to get rid of. It makes, to me, more sense to always get new in this case, because then it has a clean BIOS without junk in it as best as possible. It's new. Fortunately, these tend to be updated via Windows Update, so you really don't have to hunt for them on the vendor side of things. Oh, there's an MSI. But yeah, just a quick shopping guide. I mean, if you're just need a new one, I mean, a lot of you would be perfectly served by these. Obviously, I wouldn't game on them too heavily. They're really low on RAM, fortunately, this computer, as far as I know, does have a PCI Express slot, so you could put like a really cheap graphics card in and get a little more out of it. Or probably just buy more RAM and use what's in it. Because, well, it is a mid-range. Let's see, which one is it? That's not helpful. You're just telling me 62 RAM, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, it's just default. But, yeah. So, hopefully that helps someone out there. Just ask for the Intel Core 5 with a double-digit gen if they ask you that much. Just ask for that. Or a laptop with the same as R5 higher. You don't have to worry about all the... Maybe, make sure it's 7 or higher for AMD. And Intel, I'm not sure how their number scheme works. They tend to be more core. Well, let's see. What is this? It's brought. I mean, like word processing. Intel's numbering system isn't as intuitive to me as. Okay, so this is a 14th gen, which is fine. Just go to the store. Like this guy will work at Walmart. This guy will work at Bimart. This will work. Well, Bimart sells laptops. I don't know if they sell computers anymore. I haven't seen them, but I've seen parts. And this web page is glitched out. But the 5 series, good workhorse CPUs for most of you out there. I know a lot of you are worried. Now, if you're gaming, I'm going to make a second video on that because I'm going to make separate videos of that because that's another can of worms. But if you're just worried about your office and mostly just watch Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus and YouTube and email your friends and moderate chat, because you can get external monitors for any of these, the i5 series will age fairly well. They won't immediately fall over and groan about Windows 11. And if you want a desktop, there's this one. Man, I like that case. Because I know it has a funky motherboard in it. And I should go upload a review of it if I wanted to. Maybe I will do that after I make this video. But yeah, R5, i5. That's basically all you have to look for is the Intel 5 series, Intel 5, AMD 5. Ask for the newest gen, and you're pretty much down the road. Jeez, look at that open box. That is a CD-ROM drive. Some ways it's better to have that on USB anymore. Anyway. Hope that helps one. See you guys next time.